Hello. My topic is, for my paper, is studying how social media can be used as a tool for the framing of social movements. And I'm specifically studying the Black Lives Matter movement on Twitter and the hashtags associated with that. And I became interested in this topic just by seeing these movements happening on social media and also seeing the counter movements happening at the same time, such as the hashtag All Lives Matter counter movement, which bothered me because it seemed as if these people in the counter movements didn't understand the message of the social movement, or I just wanted to understand their intentions behind this and why it occurs, and whether social media itself is a contributing factor to why these counter movements occur, possibly slowing down or prohibiting the progress of the actual movement itself. And so some theoretical considerations of this topic are the framing of social movements, and framing of these are generally based on grievances. So, for example, with Black Lives Matter, it was based on the killings of Trayvon Martin, which is when the hashtag began, and it became popular after the police killing of Michael Brown. And another important aspect of framing is that it usually appeals to emotions. In starting social movements, it enlarges personal identities into collective identities, and framing is important in determining political opportunities for the movement. And so one of my questions for research is social media a more positive or negative tool for social movements and their framing? And my hypothesis is that because social media allows a wide population to shape and alter the movement's message, it is, on one hand, easier for the public to engage in a social movement, which is a positive aspect of social media, but it's also easier for counter movements to arise and manipulate the message of the social movement, which can be seen as negative to the movement's progress. And so I'm doing a literature review on framing of social movements. One important article is by Robert Benford and David Snow, which is an overview and assessment of framing processes and social movements. And then, like I said, I'm also doing a case study of the Black Lives Matter movement as seen through hashtags. And some of the what I found in this research is that it's difficult to analyze the sentiments of hashtags if through the research one is trying to determine whether what hashtags one finds on social media are positive or negative to the movement. So with just a hashtag, it's hard to be able to say whether it's contributing to the solidarity of the movement or not, because sometimes people use hashtag Black Lives Matter, which is positive in solidarity, but at the same time they have negative sentiments toward the grievances, such as the killings. So it's kind of a mixed bag of emotions when trying to analyze these hashtags. But what has been shown is that the frequency of them and the accessibility of people to use this hashtag, because it's easy, no one has to really go out or do anything for their activism besides using the hashtag. And so in that way, it's able to spread very quickly across the country. And so, in conclusion, I think that social media definitely makes social movements more possible, like we read about in Paderai, with the use of technology. And I just want to figure out what can be done using social media to frame social movements to make them the most effective. Thanks for listening.